What is going on, everyone? Good people of the painting world. Today, I am here with the founder and CEO of New Era Digital, Daniel Pereira. Now, this is something a little bit different. Usually on the show, we like to bring on people that are a little bit different than, what we normally talk about. But today, Daniel is actually one of our competitors. So it's a nice chance to have a friendly chat about some of the things that we both see with our clients, some of the things that are good, some of the things that are bad, and kind of collectively work together to help give you guys the best and newest information on running ads for a painting business. So, Daniel, welcome. Thank you for hopping on the show here, man.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Can you kind of give us a little bit of a intro, who you are for those who don't know you, and kind of what you do?
So my name is Daniel. Um, I'll say I'm 20. I'm 20 years old, and I started my marketing company called New Era Digital. I run under New Era Digital Marketing, doesn't really matter. Since 2023 January. So I made what now it's my third year, even though I like to say it's 2 years. But I've been working with painting contractors since that March as well. It's been a very interesting experience. I learned a lot. I failed a lot as well, but definitely now a lot has came through from it. So when it comes to that, through my experience, when I first started, I was 18 and I was going to school. I didn't feel like I wanted to do that anymore, even though I'm still in school now. But so I started my company on the side, wanted to do something in marketing or something in general. Found my voice into the painting industry after speaking to one painting contractor. He was from St. Catharines, Canada, right under Toronto, right next to Buffalo, New York. And ever since then, I basically watched a lot of Eric Barstow videos on Painting Business Pro to get a better background information. I'm pretty sure me and Caleb started around the same time. And ever since then, just try to work with one person at another. And now we are now bigger than ever before. And I'm looking hopefully I like Caleb as well can relate to put our own stamp on this industry.
Yeah, I think I was in a conversation with somebody earlier today, and I think that the services are super needed. There's a lot of people out there who are, maybe, people listening are in this exact spot where they're at like a, 200 to $300,000 a year. They're a busy self-employed person, but they're trying to like become a business owner and transition from, hey, I'm running around job to job all day, trying to manage everything to like, hey, I want to be a business owner who's, maybe buying back some of my time and having a few systems and things in place to take my business to the next level.
Exactly. And with that being said, like I just spoke to one and I just talked to Caleb about I just spoke to someone where he was in that exact predicament, 200 to 300,000, but he didn't really have the business knowledge of painting. He was a great painter. Checked out his Yelp. He had 230 photos, great photos,
Yeah.
but he just wasn't a good business owner when he came to that. So when it comes to when you're at that stage, the best duo you can have is a painting coach plus a marketing company on top because the painting coach, a good one, more importantly, can give you that structure and the insight on how to price your jobs correctly. Because if you're not pricing your jobs, especially coming from Facebook marketing, you're going to lose out on a lot of leads. If you can't
Yeah.
sell, you don't have good branding. That's what the painting coach is there. Of course, your marketing company should have some type of knowledge on branding and what is good to have. But without that knowledge, it's going to be really hard to make Facebook ads work because these leads are not slam dunks. That's only word of mouth. You can't rely on word of mouth to scale your painting company because it's a nice foundation. But if you want to hit those 5, 6, 8 million plus, you need online marketing. You need paid advertisement, whichever way it is. So in order to make Facebook ads work, you need to have that underlying knowledge that you can either learn by just doing it, failing, or having paying a coach to learn from. And then while using a marketing company, you're going to really extract that return that you're looking for. If not, you're just going to bleed your money.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people they come into paid ads and they kind of expect it to be exactly the same as referrals. Now, there are some places you can get higher quality leads. Like for example, Google. When somebody's there on Google, they're pretty much there to solve a problem. Like
Exactly.
we know why they're there, which Google's great. I think Google ads are wonderful. However, the big kind of drawback is you're just sort of waiting for people to reach out. Like you're not getting 100 leads a month on Google. That's probably not going to happen unless you're like the top dog in a extremely busy area. So you're just kind of waiting. If it's slow, it's really slow on Google. Um, so you're kind of subject to the market. It's not like Facebook where you have control over what the heck is going on here. Um, Now here's my kind of main question to you. How do you navigate like, all right, let's throw you an example. I started Caleb's painting a couple years ago. I come to you, I say, "Hey, Daniel, I'm at that spot. I'm at 200 to 300 thousand dollars a year. I've got a Google profile, I've got a Facebook profile, but not running any ads. What do you take somebody like that to get them to five, six, $700,000 a year?
First, I'll definitely talk to them about their structure. Are they the sole
Okay.
painter? Do they have subs? Do they have employees? Can they scale production easily? Because again, with paid ads, if successful, you can have a big bottleneck and you start booking out 3 months and now you're kind of losing out on work because people don't want to wait more than 3 months to get the house painted a large part of the time.
Yeah.
So that's first question. Are you able to handle production? Second thing after that is how do you have essentially your sales set up? Because with marketing, pretty much you're taking care of the entire front end. So you just want to make sure, are they able to sell? Are they able to, is their gross profit on average around 45 to 50% from a job? And are they able to produce? If so, paid ads is beautiful.
Yeah.
It will be an absolute slam dunk because you're going to be able to price each job. You're going to be predictable. It's going to be profitable. And you're going to be able to produce jobs with no problem. A lot of times with people who are 2 to 300,000, they have a production problem. They don't have the capacity to go higher. So they come to me, we run ads, and then they're being booked out 2 to 3 months. And
Yeah.
now they're losing out on work because people don't want to wait that long. So that's
Yeah.
number one. But of course, that's a good problem to have because now
Yeah.
you're like, okay, let me now try to find crews, let me find employees or find subs so they can produce the work for me. And then
Yeah.
slowly they can get out because a lot of times they don't have the work, they just need the work. And then with time, if they're also committed enough and not complacent, they'll take the effort to then start building that structure in their company to hire out. And then now
Yeah.
they're not no longer on the tools. Now they're just doing estimates and they slowly get up to that 700. But again, it comes down to the business owner largely when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And what's kind of, most of the people that you're seeing, how do they start to create that structure? In my opinion, I think one of the best things is to, if you don't have like a system or a CRM, that's probably step number one. You got to get organized. You got to figure out what the heck's going on so that, when you're getting leads in every single day, you're not writing these down on like a McDonald's napkin in your passenger seat. Like, they're going into a system and they're getting managed properly. Uh, are you seeing anything else like a post or, in addition to a CRM that's going to help you kind of get people to that next level?
Not really.
Okay.
CRM is needed, and I felt like I lost a client because he was not willing to sign up for drip jobs. He did all his estimates on paper. And
Yeah.
I begged him because I have a 60-day free trial. You also have one. Like we're
Yeah.
able to get them free drip jobs for 2 months. He
Yeah.
didn't sign up. And he's like, I only sold one job. I'm like, okay, we booked you 18 estimates. I'm like, I've been wanting to get on drip jobs so you can use the proposal to help. Like he's
Yeah.
also Brazilian. His
Yeah.
English is definitely is like probably his second language. Like
Yeah.
it's nah, I know. I spoke to him. It's like he barely can speak English. Like you have a disadvantage from everybody else. Like you got to be able to look way more professional if you want these people's work, these people's money. They're trusting you with thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So a CRM now compared to everybody else, unless you're in the middle of Montana, like you truly need it because the sophistication is getting harder and harder. If you compare it to
Yeah.
how many painting contractors were running as last year, it's probably has tripled. It is
Yeah.
way harder. CPM costs probably went up 25-30% year over year
Hmm.
because the sophistication level with the PCA, with coaches, drip drops, like everything coming into it, just people are learning to be better, makes everything
Yes.
harder. So if you're not
Yes.
able to level up, you're going to be left behind.
Yes. And I think a good reminder for everybody listening here, these platforms, Facebook and Google, most of these platforms, they are an auction. The lead goes to the highest bidder. It doesn't matter if that's the way you like it, that's the way that it is. If you have 10, multi-million dollar painting companies that are running ads in your area, it's going to be more expensive. That's just the way that it is. I wish it wasn't, but the auction, because this is an auction,
Yeah.
prices will get driven up by your area and by competitors. Let me give you an example. So we have a client. I think this is probably the most competition area I have seen
What
so
is it?
far. It is Denver, Colorado. Um,
Yeah, Denver and Boston and Seattle I've seen are just absolute.
yeah,
It's
Denver
so
is
hard.
brutal, bro.
Absolutely brutal.
And I like it was the first like month or so of running ads, and it wasn't like the numbers were not as good as I wanted. So I was like, all right, like what the heck's going on here? And we looked, and dude, I just a quick Google search of like painters in Denver, scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. I was like, geez, there's like 15 pages on Google of all these guys. Like, um, it's literally think about it just like a live auction. If you're bidding for like a car or a piece of art or whatever you would buy at an auction. You're bidding for attention. You're bidding for the lead, and your competitors are going to really kind of determine your area. But vice versa, like I have a guy in an area that the competition's pretty low. I'm not going to say the area because I'm not
Yeah,
going to
you
relieve the
want people
sauce
to
here. But
farm
yeah,
there.
but it makes it so much easier for us because he has like four competitors, and it's like we can just dominate his Google and we can just dominate on Facebook in that little area, and we just kill it for him. So that's a good reminder here is that this is an auction, so the lead goes to the highest bidder, and usually those people at the top. If you look in your area, the biggest people are probably also going to show up first on Google. They're probably also going to be on Facebook. Like they are the ones who spend the most money in marketing.
100%. Because
Yeah,
also in Denver, I, I forgot the name, but Eric Barcel's company is in
yeah,
Denver or
yeah,
in Fort Collins.
yeah,
Massive company, probably one of the biggest companies for painting, like a solo, just painting, not franchised, painting company in the nation is in that
yeah,
area. Denver,
yeah,
absolute hardest, probably the hardest or top three hardest areas in the country without a doubt. But also puts it in perspective. It just takes a lot more to be good.
yeah,
That's it. So if you are in Denver, you just got to realize you got to put 300% of the effort compared to probably someone in Florida. Because Florida, everybody's moving to Florida. The
yeah,
sub demand compared to the supply to contractors is just a ratio where the painting contractor wins. If you're
yeah.
in Denver, there's not enough homeowners for the amount of painting contractors that there is. That's why it's so expensive when it comes to the Google clicks, when it comes to the Facebook CPM costs. It just takes a lot more. You just got to put it in perspective for your business and your expectations when you're running your numbers.
So I have a question for you. What is like your typical build out for a client look like? Are you doing Facebook ads? Are you doing Google ads? Are you doing LSA, PPC? Like what's kind of the build out look like? You do an appointment setting. What does all that look like, man?
Right now, we're just doing Facebook ads.
Okay.
Right now, I'd love to
Okay.
expand to Google, but I just want to nail in
Yeah.
my Facebook ads. Just
Yeah.
nail it and just be a dominant force to Facebook ads. Um,
And you guys are you doing setting too, it sounds like, right?
yes, setting as well.
So how does that work? Like, are you using like an instant form? Are you using like a message? How are you kind of getting these leads in the first place? Are you landing pages? Like, there's a lot of different ways you can get leads. Um, and then are you guys calling the leads? Are you texting them? Like, or is that the secret sauce that we don't want to divulge?
Well, essentially, what the painting contractors do is just call
Yeah,
and text. It's the
yeah,
same thing. You just do it
well,
for them. If they
yeah,
hired an admin or a virtual assistant on their drip jobs to handle leads, same thing. You call and text.
yeah.
Hopefully, that's not secret sauce for anybody.
I
Um,
I hope calling and texting the leads is not secret sauce, but
Exactly. It's just, I guess it's how much and how fast and how often and what you say that is the sauce.
yeah,
But just in general, texting and calling just what gets done. And
yeah.
for
So
the we use instant forms, rarely use landing pages.
okay, that's I like what you said there. The sauce is just kind of calling and texting. Let me say this: the secret sauce and the hack and the growth, hack to really put you ahead is do what you say you're going to do and be fast. Like, uh, you know, realistically, if somebody fills out a form or if somebody looks you up or whatever, and they don't hear from you within 5 minutes, they probably forgot about you or they probably weren't your competitor. So if you're not fast, the lead is just going to go to the next guy. Like they probably, if this is the first time that they're hearing about you, then they probably unfortunately don't have like a brand, like they don't care who they go with. They just want the job done. So I, being there when they need it is, you know, half the battle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
people I don't appointment set, like I just burn them. I'm like, you gotta nail them with calls. It sounds spammy, it feels spammy,
Yeah.
but it is what it is because the attention span nowadays is so bad that you have TikTok, you have Facebook, Instagram Reels, YouTube, everyone jumping from one over the other, the other, the other. They forget.
Yeah.
You forget. When you catch yourself endlessly scrolling for the last 30 minutes, you forgot what you saw 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, you forgot that 30-second reel or TikTok just 5 minutes ago. It's
Yeah.
that bad. So you have to be able to just keep knocking at it day after day, hour after hour, essentially, especially at the
Mhm.
beginning, um, to make sure you get a contact at them and just to hear a no, because they filled out the form. They gave you
Yeah.
permission to basically contact them. You go after them until they say no. Of
Yeah.
course, it's been 2 months. You probably should just put your effort in better and least that just filled it out. But at least you got to make sure that you're getting your money out of it for the least who do come in, at least to hear if they actually are interested or not.
Yes, absolutely. There needs to be a good nurture system and a good follow-up system to, to do this right away. I think that's why, you know, it sounds like we had like similar problems where we were running Facebook ads for clients and then there wasn't a good like setting or setter available. So that's at least why we started doing it. We were just like, hey, listen, you know what, like we'll take care of the appointment setting for you if you don't have somebody in-house. So that's where that was born for us. Do you have, I'm sure it was something similar for you.
To be honest, I started appointment setting at the gate because I
Okay.
saw nobody else did it. So
Yeah.
that's why I did it. And then I implemented the
Yeah.
non-appointment setting for the people who just don't need it. So I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, let's do that as
Yeah.
well to accommodate people like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went out the gate with it.
I think that's a good call, having the appointment setting because at the end of the day, guys, like leads are just leads. They're completely, totally useless unless they are managed properly. Um, and I don't think it's fair that like some people will go online and say, "Oh, Facebook ads suck," blah blah blah, if they call them 3 days later and don't properly nurture that lead. Like, uh, paid ads in general, they are a tool. They work as good as you use them. But if you don't use them, they're not going to work. It's kind of like losing weight. Like you got to do the steps required in order
Again,
to
it's
get the
not a slam
success that
dunk.
you want. Yeah,
It's
it's
not a
not.
slam dunk. It's not word of mouth.
Yeah, it's not
Takes
word of
work.
mouth. But a good benefit of ads is that you're injecting more people into that system.
Exactly.
E-
It's the brand
every
awareness.
new every new job that gets booked is another referral you could get, is, more people in that neighborhood that you can get. So I think what you're saying here is very valuable. Um, but I want you to kind of go a little deeper here on like lead quality. Like why for some of you guys are you doing a landing page? Why are you doing instant forms? Like what does a quality lead look like to you?
Only time I use a landing page is for the appointment setting because high level. If
Okay.
I'm sending to drip jobs, there's no point for a landing page because of the form. I don't even
Yeah.
know how to sync it over. Um, but when it comes to the lead quality so rephrase the question again. Just make sure
Okay.
I got it right.
Yeah. So a lot of people will say that Facebook ads are bad lead quality.
Okay.
What are some of the things that you are doing to improve the quality of the leads? Now, obviously, they're not going to be referrals,
Of course not.
but I think there are still things that we can do to improve the quality, like
Yes,
making sure the ads are showing in good areas and things like that. Um, but what
that
are
is
some
true.
of the things that you like to do to improve, I guess, the quality of the leads and the quality of the experience in general?
There's only three things I like to do. Number one, I say it's the 90% of the legwork is to improve the quality of your marketing. Number one. Number two, location. Make sure you're advertising the right locations. If you're showing to bad areas, you're showing to bad areas.
Okay.
Three is the form slash funnel. It's just whatever they have to fill out to come through. One is how easy it is, or what is said, what questions are asked to. 'Cause you can say even set expectations properly. So
Mhm.
how that is set up greatly impacts. Of course, you still have everything else. This is a multi-variable equation to input out a good lead because it's still cold leads at the end of the day, but what you do and how good is your marketing impacts and increases your lead quality. How good is the areas you're targeting impacts the people who are being shown. So if you're in higher
Yeah.
income neighborhoods, the people who are seeing it have the money to pay, increases the quality organically without you really doing much to your marketing. And the third thing, again, the people filling out the form because the people who are all lazy daisy trying to fill it out just to see a price, they're gonna fill it out if they don't. You don't ask the right questions. You don't have enough. You don't ask enough questions or the right questions. Like they'll just go right through. You waste your time contacting them because again, you got to essentially spam them. So you want to make sure the effort you put in into reaching out to these people, they're good quality leads. It's an entire process.
Okay. Now, when you say improve the marketing, what do you mean? Is that the picture? Is that the video? Is that the
Yeah, it
copy?
comes down to the ads.
Okay.
It's basically what they see. You need to be better. 'Cause look, if you want to, if your clients are coming to you, like I guess my client in a certain area, it's a high quality painting company.
Yeah.
So if you're going to show low quality videos or low quality photos or have low quality wording or low quality this, low quality that, their
Yeah.
page or their profile looks low quality. How do they expect a homeowner that wants to get their entire house repainted for, say, the quote is 12 grand will
Yeah.
trust them?
Yeah.
They won't. They'll go to the guy who looks better. Because
Yeah.
again, when it comes to Facebook, how I see it, it's a want game. It's an experience. It's not a transaction. You gotta make them feel everything. If you
Yeah.
look low quality, they don't trust the 12 grand price tag you're putting on it. They're gonna go with
Mhm.
someone who does it's gonna do it for eight. Somehow do it for eight. But if you guys look the same, you guys look the same, they don't see a difference. Whether even if you are two times better than them, they don't see a difference.
Yeah. I think, you kind of get out what you put in here and you attract what you put out. If you are saying, oh, hey, we do projects for 50% off, cheapest guys in town, you're going to attract the
You attract the
people who,
landlords.
yeah, you're going to attract the people who don't care about quality and aren't caring about a good experience and just want the cheapest price possible. And they're probably going to be challenging to work with as well.
They're gonna have unreal expectations for that slim of a margin you have. We waste
Yeah.
your time.
Yeah. So I think that is kind of it's a combination between like letting people know like how to work the system and what to expect, and also like what's sort of required. Um, some of the things that we like to do, and I know a lot of people in the industry do this, is just getting the business owner on the ads is huge. If you have John the painter from John's Painting and he's on the ads, you see him all the time, and then he shows up to your house and shakes your hand, that is so incredibly powerful because you're building that personal brand. You have that, you have the guy. At the end of the day, man, people buy from people. They don't buy from businesses. So
Experience.
yeah, it's I think that's a little bit of that brand awareness and a couple other things there that are just kind of
Exactly.
hitting home.
You
Yeah.
gotta make an experience.
Yeah. And who, I guess, so some of the people that you will refer to like Aiden, the coach, or like how can you tell somebody needs a coach?
They lack structure. And you can say their expectations on the business is not up to date.
Okay. What do you mean by that? Can you dive a little deeper?
Like I get refer the person who I just spoke to before this.
Yeah.
Um, 20 years in business. He opened his company in 2017. He was just painting job after job. Yellow Pages, Yelp, Home Advisor, lead buying
Yeah.
sites, just getting work, leads coming into him, contact and try to get the job done.
Hmm.
But if he wanted to take his business to the next step, he was just outdated in the fact that he had no Facebook page. He was not on, he had no website. He had no Google My Business profile. He had no Instagram. He had nothing online other than the Yelp pages, all the other stuff. But that's not really his. That's those other companies.
Yeah.
So you can say outdated. And he also wrote his estimates on paper,
Yeah.
outdated.
Yeah.
And of course, you can clearly see that he didn't really have structure. I'm like, you are the perfect candidate for a coach because right now, if I try to make put all these bells and whistles and make all these false problems, I'm solve all your problems. I'm gonna give you all these leads. You're gonna see how that's just not true. Because I can definitely generate you leads, but that's not your biggest problem, locking you to get to 500,000 plus. It's not
Yeah.
that. It's everything else.
Yeah. I think I think a good perspective for people to have, uh, and I hope everybody listening kind of takes this to heart here, is that marketing is an amplifier. It will make you more of what you already are. If you can't close jobs right now and you're not good at sales, you're not just going to get better when you start marketing. If you are struggling with production, when you start marketing, it's probably going to get worse. If you can't manage 10 leads a month, you're not going to be able to manage 100. So Marketing is an amplifier. It can only solve marketing problems. I made a YouTube video about this today actually, where I broke down there's three types of problems that you can have in your painting business if you're not making money. Okay, number one is a marketing problem. You're just not getting enough leads in the door. Two is going to be a setting problem where those leads that you're getting aren't turning into appointments on the calendar. Three is a sales problem where you're not able to close those leads into jobs. And basically, those are the only three things that need to happen in order for you to close jobs and make money. Okay. Obviously, there's the whole production, whatever. But like to actually get that person sold and make that money, you need to get the lead. That lead needs to become an estimate, and that job needs to be closed. So we can look at each one of these. If you're getting, just to throw example numbers out there, if you're getting uh, 30 leads a month, you're going to 10 estimates a month, but you haven't closed any jobs, that's clearly like something at that point, at that sale is going wrong. Uh, you can also look if you're only getting 5 leads a month, then this is probably just a marketing issue. Like you're not getting the flow enough people to really take it to the next level. At least that's what we notice. What are your
Oh,
thoughts on that?
and I agree. And also sales, you also can stem job costing, making sure the prices they're charging meet the margins. Because if you're 10 grand, $8,000 in expenses, you just wasted your time right there, and you're operating on thin. But yes, isn't it how lovely when you put it like that, it makes the business so simple.
Yeah.
You can see where you break.
Yeah.
If you have just 5 leads, you don't know what will break. So trying
Yeah.
marketing is a good thing because it
Yeah.
will let you know what would be your problem. Is it a sales problem or I can't produce enough?
Yeah.
When you add marketing, whether it's a lead buying site or it's paid advertisement, doesn't really matter. It lets you know where's your faults, where's your
Yeah.
issues. Am I pricing the jobs well? Am I not? Am I too high? Am I too low? Am I able to sell?
Yeah.
Am I not? Am I able to set it or not? Am I able to produce enough? When you break it down and literally every little step of each little department, you can literally see where you break. And then when you see that nothing is breaking, you just do more.
Yeah.
Whether it's effort and time go together, but effort, time, or money, you just do more of that and your business grows with time. If you start spending $10,000 a month on Facebook, something will break. It's either in the
Yeah.
market, you're not generating enough leads with the money you're spending, or you're not selling enough, or you're not producing enough, not able
Yeah.
to produce enough.
Yeah.
It's just a very simple game.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's you know, it's not easy, but it is simple.
Yeah,
The things that you need to do. And that's what I think really kind of separates those that are successful with it and those that aren't.
yeah.
Um, how long are you seeing most of your clients and kind of what you tell clients, how long until they become successful? What's kind of like is it like a 90 days kind of thing or like how do you structure that with your clients?
It depends on their definition of success.
Yeah.
It can like I just want leads to I want to have a certain return on investment each month from the ads. It
Yeah.
just depends. Because it's a lot of people, they'll probably say leads. Okay, we can solve your lead problem in the first month. No problem. Again,
Yeah.
and in the area, you're in an area
Yeah.
like Denver, that's gonna take a lot more time. But like on average, you're not in that type of area. Getting leads in the first month is no problem. Again, then it comes down to the next stop. How many jobs you're booking? What is your return? And that can take more time. That can then expand the time horizon. And again, it still comes down to what you put out as well, how much effort in. You're going to give me 25% effort. You're not going to expect 100% return. That's just not going to happen 9 out of 10 times. You can get lucky one time, but that won't last.
Yeah.
So when it comes to getting results as fast as possible, because who doesn't wants results tomorrow?
Yeah.
It really just comes down to, again, a lot of variables, but of course, what is their definition of success to them?
Yeah. Okay. What are some of the things that are like the non-negotiables that your clients need to be doing in order to be getting success? So, in order to be closing jobs, like what are there any certain things that you tell them like, hey, listen, man, I can take care of this and this, but you have to do this properly. You have to follow up. You have to, you know, work on your sales. Like, are there any certain things there that like they need to focus on?
Capturing media.
Okay.
That's
And
it.
then just
That's
filming the
literally just
videos.
it. That's it. Because I can
Okay.
handle pretty much everything else. Unless the appointment's set on themselves, we can pretty much handle everything else. I just can't capture media for them. That's
Yeah.
literally the one thing I can't do. We can
Yeah.
probably, I know nobody does it. I'm not even gonna do it, but like we can do the essence for them. Do set up a virtual estimate, tell them to show us pictures. But
Yeah.
like truly it's just media. I can't capture media for you. That's just
Yeah.
how it is. I can't capture your face. I can't unless you give me some of your company logo. I stand outside of my house, start making a video for you. I just can't capture nothing. That's the one thing because that's everything in Facebook.
Yeah. It's being a person and building up that local celebrity status for a painter. That's absolutely it. I'm curious, where do you see the future? Where do you see all this going? It seems like we're going very fast with drip jobs, you know, some of the things that we do, some of the things that you do, like Aiden, all these new things in the painting industry. I think it's an exciting time. Where do you see all this going?
What in particular?
Like, do you think there are going to be what's the next thing to change in the painting industry? An industry that hasn't had really that many changes, but in the last 5 years, it's just completely transformed.
Hmm. I
I
think
think
just
that,
the level rise is so much higher between each contractor. Because on our side, the only thing that really changes online is I'm gonna believe Drip Drops gets 5 times better over the next 5 years.
yeah,
And when it comes to marketing, like I guess in the buttons of Facebook, it's just gonna get more simpler. So it
yeah,
just comes down to the level of each contractor.
yeah,
How on average of each painting contractor has increased. We're probably gonna see probably 5 times more people running ads in the next 5, 10 years. Because as people get more coached, as the PCA expands and their, I guess their look on things, people just get better, and then the
yeah,
level has to rise. Because again,
yeah.
there's not an infinite amount of homeowners. There's not an
There's
infinite
not.
amount of people we can paint their houses. Because
No.
eventually the land will be all taken over, and then it's just simple repaints at that point, unless you break down
Yeah,
a house.
yeah,
But I just think the level gets harder and harder and harder. It just gets higher and higher because at the end of the day, how I see it for painters, at least for the right contractors, I believe, without sounding like an insult, you're just selling jobs. Like when you get to a certain level, you're selling jobs as the owner. At the beginning, you're producing jobs, you're painting. But as you get past 500, you're off the tools, you're just selling work and having someone produce for you. Just selling work, selling work, selling work. How can I sell more work? And that's it. How can I sell 1,000 jobs this year? How can I sell $10,000, 10,000 jobs this year? Because if you can't sell work, you can't produce work. Because especially since you're not the painter, you need work. You basically need to sell work to make money. That's the $500 an hour task. Or you can even say $1,000 an hour task. It's being the owner and just how can I sell more? Is it me doing the estimates or I have to hire a rep to do it? So he can do 15 estimates a week or 20.
yeah, yeah,
Because again, you're in the business of selling more jobs because you should have the team to produce them, but you're in the business of selling more.
yeah, absolutely. So if somebody wanted to, somebody listening, they wanted to learn a little bit more about you and see if they want to become your client, where should they go? What should they do?
I should say check out my Instagram or Facebook page. I post a
Okay.
lot of content to try to help people.
Mhm.
I just take a dive and just learn from me, essentially. And
Yeah,
if you trust me, then talk to me. But I just want people, if anybody ever wants to work with me, I don't force people to work with me. I don't pressure people on my sales calls. I
yeah,
don't. I want someone to trust and commit to what I have to offer and my strategy.
yeah.
And that's it. So I'd
I-
rather someone just essentially you can say fall in love. Just fall in love with what I have to offer and who I am
Yeah.
and just trust me that what I say works. Because that's it.
Guys, I will leave a link below to Daniel's channel so you can check it out and see if he would be a good fit for you. Daniel, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you for coming on. I always love chatting about this stuff, and maybe we'll do it again in the future. But you're a great guy. If anybody is interested and maybe they're not the right fit to work with Taurify, or maybe you just don't like us and you hate us, but you're like, hey, this Daniel guy is really good, then you know what? That's fine too. Do whatever you want. You're in control here. Go check Daniel out. And yeah, I think he's a great guy. He's really locked in with a lot of good people in the painting world, you can say. And he has my vote of confidence here. Thank you guys for checking this one out. And Daniel, thank you for joining
Of
us here,
course.
man.
It was my pleasure.
All
My
right,
pleasure.
take it easy, everyone.